Everyone is trying to guess the score. Who wins? Who loses control? Who stays calm under pressure? Who disappears in the final minutes? And that makes sense in football, especially this week. The whole world is watching the final.
But sometimes dating starts to feel the same way. You're not watching a match. You're sitting with your phone, still tracking points.
They replied fast. +1. They didn't make a plan. -2. They watched your story. +1. They sounded distant. -1.
They sent miss you at midnight. +3. Then disappeared the next day. -5. And slowly, without realizing it, you stop asking, do I feel loved? You start asking, what do the signals mean? Welcome back to the Alchemy Pair. Tonight we're talking about scoreboard love. That feeling where you're not simply in a relationship, you're constantly tracking tiny signs to know whether you are wanted.
Because you are not supposed to guess the score in love.
There's a difference between normal uncertainty and living inside someone else's emotional scoreboard. Early dating can be unclear. That's normal. People are still learning each other. They may not know everything yet.
Right? Uncertainty is not always the problem. Being left alone inside uncertainty is the problem.
Because when you're left alone in it, you start measuring everything. The reply time, the tone, the punctuation. Whether they said see you soon or just talk later.
They are not in the moment anymore. They are in the commentary booth.
That line hurts because it's true. They are no longer experiencing the connection. They are analyzing it. And the analysis never ends because the relationship never gives them enough ground to stand on.
Research on relational uncertainty suggests that uncertainty can shape how people interpret partner behavior and relationship events. Carefully said, that does not mean uncertainty always damages a connection, but it can make small signals feel heavier.
A short message becomes evidence. A delayed plan becomes a warning. A softer voice becomes hope. And now the person is exhausted before anything has even happened. I think guessing can feel like hope. That's the tricky part. If the answer is unclear, you can keep imagining the version you want.
A delayed reply becomes, maybe they're just busy. A canceled plan becomes, maybe next week will be better.
And the late night message becomes, maybe they still care. This is the extra time moment, 90+3. You were about to leave emotionally. Then the phone lights up, miss you.
And it feels like a goal in the final minutes.
Exactly. Everything comes alive again. The score changes in your head. You sit back down. You think, okay, maybe we're still in this.
But one late sign does not always change the whole relationship. Sometimes it only extends the suspense.
Ambiguity hurts, but it also leaves room for fantasy. And sometimes people keep guessing because asking directly would remove the fantasy they are surviving on.
When affection is inconsistent, every small sign starts to feel like evidence. That is the simple version. No need to make it technical. No need to call it addiction.
Because it doesn't feel technical when you're living it. It feels like checking your phone at dinner. It feels like rereading one sentence 6 times. It feels like feeling calm only after they finally respond.
And when someone gives you very little certainty, even a small sign can feel like a breakthrough.
That's why the smallest thing can change the whole day. They use your name. They send a photo. They say, I was thinking about you. And suddenly the score goes up.
But then they pull back again, and the score drops.
So your mood starts moving with their latest signal. That is not intimacy. That is emotional scorekeeping.
If every small signal can change the score, you are not standing on emotional ground. You are standing on suspense.
Reading someone is human. We all do it. You notice tone, timing, energy, body language. That's normal.
But living as their emotional detective is different.
Yes, because now you don't trust your own experience. You don't ask, was I comfortable? You ask, did they seem into me? You don't ask, do I like how this feels? You ask, what does this mean?
And for someone with anxious attachment tendencies, or someone used to inconsistent affection, ambiguity may feel especially activating, not as a diagnosis, just as one possible pattern.
Because the relationship keeps giving half answers. Enough to keep you close, not enough to let you rest.
A relationship should not require you to become an analyst of someone's inconsistency.
Because if you need a scoreboard to know where you stand, the relationship is already costing you peace. So why not just ask? That's what people say. Just ask where you stand. But it doesn't always feel simple.
Because asking might change the dynamic.
Exactly. They might think you're needy. They might pull away. They might give the answer you already fear. So you send the safer message. No worries, really, whenever you're free. It's fine, but it isn't fine.
Sometimes the person keeps guessing because guessing protects access. If they ask, the fantasy might end.
And there's shame in that. They think, why do I need so much reassurance? But maybe they don't need too much. Maybe the relationship is giving too little.
That distinction matters. The issue is not that every uncertainty must be solved immediately. The issue is when uncertainty becomes the structure of the connection. Clarity does not have to be a final score. Sometimes it is just an honest halftime update.
I like that. Because clarity does not always mean are we together forever. It can be smaller. I like you and I want to keep seeing you. I'm not ready for exclusivity. I care about this, but I need to move slowly. I'm unsure, but I don't want to keep you guessing.
Those answers may not all feel good, but they reduce the need for constant scorekeeping.
The most stabilizing answer is not always a promise. Sometimes it is a response that makes your question feel welcome.
That connects to perceived partner responsiveness. Healthy intimacy is not just attraction. It is feeling understood, valued, and responded to.
So even if the answer is uncertain, the response can still be kind. The relationship does not have to punish you for asking where you stand. And now we come back to the final whistle. In football, eventually the whistle tells everyone where the game stands. The guessing stops. The score is the score.
But in love, sometimes the other person never gives you that whistle. So you keep watching. One more message, one more weekend, one more warm night, one more almost plan.
And maybe the question becomes, how long do I keep watching? Not angrily, not dramatically, just honestly.
Some uncertainty is normal. Early dating is not supposed to have a full final score. People can move slowly and still be honest. Not every delayed text means rejection. Not every vague person is trying to manipulate you.
But if the relationship consistently makes you guess where you stand, that uncertainty is no longer neutral. It is shaping your emotional life.
You are allowed to ask for enough clarity to stop living inside someone else's suspense.
Maybe the question is not, what does this signal mean? Maybe it is, why do I need this many signals to feel chosen?
Love is allowed to have mystery.
But it should not require you to keep score just to know whether you matter.
Until next time, notice when you are no longer in the connection but watching it from the commentary booth.
We'll see you next time.